Hey everyone, I'm Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch and crafting. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, and this is video number 91. Now this is a special video. All of my videos are always about cross stitch. Sometimes I talk about crafting like crochet, knitting, punch needle, English paper piecing. I just love doing it all, and I love to talk to you guys about it and show you my progress, some finishes along the way. But today's video is special. This is special for people who love samplers, especially Bristol orphanage samplers like I do. So this actually is going to be about Bristol samplers. It's going to be about the retreat that I just got back from. The retreat was sponsored by the Attic Needlework shop in Mesa, Arizona. And we all came together because we love Bristol orphanage samplers. Now, if you don't know a lot about them, I'll tell you a little bit about them. I am in no way a historian. This is all things that I have learned both from reading in the past and from the retreat. I'll talk about the instructors. I'll show you some Bristol orphanage samplers, tell you a little bit about them, show you what I'm working on, and I'll show you what I got from the retreat. So if you're ever interested in attending a retreat of any kind, whether it be samplers or whether it just be for fun, any type of cross-stitching retreat, and you're going by yourself, don't worry. Now, I wish I could take my own advice on that because I'm a big chicken, and walking into a room of people that I don't know, it's intimidating. But this retreat had several people that came by themselves. They didn't know anybody. They walked up to a table and said, "Can I sit with you and stitch?" Well, of course. And it is just so fun because you walk in intimidated and you leave the retreat with new friends. You're super happy. You've had a blast and you've got a bag full of stuff that you got from the retreat. It's just so fun. So if you're ever interested in attending a retreat, but you're just afraid to go by yourself, just don't be. And I will also take my own advice and continue to try and do the same because I know how you feel. And but we just had so much fun. There were people from all over the country. There was my friend from Hawaii came in, and we had some ladies from the United Kingdom that flew over. We had Nicola Parkman that flew from the United Kingdom. Just a blast. So let me start by telling you about the retreat itself. Retreat was from June 10th through the 12th. So it started Friday evening at 5 o'clock. We had dinner. We all found our seats. And then Jean is the owner of the Attic Needlework shop in Mesa, Arizona. This is her baby. This is her retreat, and it was a blast. So when you arrive, you put your things down, you find where you want to sit, and Jean introduces it. You know, it makes the introductions. Dinner's ready at 5:30, and we all went to go eat. The food is fantastic. If you get the chance to attend an Attic Needlework shop retreat, try and go. And the food is great. And Jean is she wants you to enjoy everything. She wants to make sure the food is good. She has an excellent chef that's associated with the Hilton that we stayed at. The presentation is beautiful. They had a beautiful display on the tables. You also get a very different variety of food every day. So we'll take breakfast, for example. One day might be eggs and bacon and all your breakfasts, fruits and different things. The next day might be breakfast croissants. So it's something different. You don't have to just go and eat the same thing every time. You also get dessert, and dessert is always different too. So one day we had Mexican food. I believe it was for lunch. Maybe it was Saturday. And we had churros for dessert. We had these fantastic cream-filled turnovers. Oh, they were just really good choices of food and variety. So the retreat went from Friday night, all day Saturday, and part of Sunday. By noon, it's over, but she serves you lunch. Fabulous way to end the retreat with food. So what is a Bristol orphanage sampler? If you're not into samplers, but you want to learn a little bit more, I just encourage you to watch Nicola Parkman's videos or go to Claudia. She was our other instructor. Claudia has a website. It is DutchTreat.com. She has a wealth of knowledge. Now, before I even attended the retreat, I knew who Claudia was. I had never met her in person, but I had been on her website. I had found it because I love British sampler. I mean, Bristol samplers. I think they're beautiful. I'm fascinated with the story behind it, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So if I didn't already say, I'm not a historian on this. I'm not an expert on this. Someone like Claudia is one that you could always email if you ever had a question about the history of them or a particular design. Nicola Parkman from Hands Across the Sea is another one that you could always feel free to email, and they're both just totally happy to write you back and give you the information that you're looking for if they can find, if they can help you. That's something that I was just really impressed with both of them, is how they want to help. So let's talk about the Bristol orphanage. What I didn't know before this retreat was that there were actually 5 orphan homes, 5 orphanages in the United Kingdom in the city of Bristol. So it was founded by George Mueller, which I had heard before. He was a man in the late 1800s that founded the orphanages. And these children are without parents. They have nowhere to go, no one to take care of them, no relatives. They were sent to the orphanage to live. Part of their schooling, part of their, they were taught reading and handwork skills through stitching samplers. So you'll see a ton of alphabet on these samplers. They learned alphabet, they learned handwork. It's just so fascinating to hear how much they learned just by stitching on a sampler. So there were 5 homes. And I read, I want to say through Erica Michaels' designs, that about 17,000 orphans passed through these homes. 17,000 children without homes or parents. I mean, I think George Mueller was just incredible for wanting to take care of these children. Now, he had or saw about 10,000 of them pass through while he was still alive during his lifetime. And I believe I read through Erica Michaels' designs that the orphanages closed in 1950. But what's fascinating is that the records are still very much available. Records about the children, records about families, and, the children that were there. And what I love, especially with the Hands Across the Seas and Claudia, what is her last name? Claudia Dutcher Kistler. If I have a picture, I'll show you here, but she's wonderful. She's so helpful, and she's just knowledgeable. She knows so much about the information on the orphanages and the samplers themselves. She's just a wealth of information. So what I did find out is that Bristol samplers, I'm going to show you the one I'm working on. This is Mary 395. This is your typical Bristol orphanage sampler. Alphabet, lots and lots of alphabet, lots of little motifs, pictures. Some are very, very common that you see in each little girl's sampler. I'm going to show you more along the way, the collection that I have of the charts, and you'll completely see how similar they are, but they're different. That's another thing I learned. Now I have Louisa Cullimore, which I love. Now you can see how very, very, let me take this out. You can see how very, very similar these 2 charts are, but they're different. Look at the size of the crown on this one compared to the size on the other. Look at the different motifs are just different. So I'm going to show this one up close, and I'll try and get them both in so you can kind of see that the motifs are different, but they do have some in common. The Bible is a very common motif right here. Squirrel, was it the squirrel? I thought that it was common. I'm seeing a rooster, a cow. So anyway, you can see the similarities between the 2, but they are different. So this is your typical red Bristol orphanage sampler. So what else did I learn? What really blew me away about these samplers, when you see an actual original sampler from the 1800s, they are tiny. So this beast of Mary 395, you can see how big she is. I didn't get to see her in person, but the sampler is very small. They worked on approximately 65 count fabric, 65 threads per inch. So they're little. And the one I'm stitching on is a bed sheet. It's huge. I'll show you my progress. But I mean, seriously, this is huge. I just couldn't get over how small these samplers were. So 65 count, they stitch with cotton thread. Obviously, you can see red is a primary color. Bristol samplers typically defined as including letters of the alphabet, motifs, a single color of thread, and it taught the little girls reading and handwork skills. So it says we can learn about the little girls who stitched the samplers because the orphans' records are still available today. Fascinating. Let's talk about Erica Michaels for a minute. Erica Michaels Designs. Now she designed 3 different strawberries. So she wanted to give a little bit of a variety, but still honor the Bristol samplers. Here's what she did. She came up with something different. So if you're interested in stitching something smaller, you don't have to go so big. So here's what she did. This was Bristol Berry number 1. I bought it, but I had no idea of the story behind this one until I read about it. I didn't know what this big house was, and I certainly didn't know what these 2 dates were or the street names. I didn't know what these initials were here and how common some of these motifs really are. So she's come up with 3 different designs of berries. Something you can stitch and make it small. You don't have to go so giant and still stitch part of a Bristol sampler. So talking about this one, there's a wealth of information inside of here that I had not even seen. So here's what Erica Michaels Design says. Linda Stoltz, I believe her name is Linda Stoltz. Motifs and alphabet are based, so she's talking about this, and she's talking about all of her designs. They're based on a sampler stitched by Maria Hancock in 1864. Now that original sampler is in the collection of the Cleveland Museum of Art. The only exception is the large house, which is reminiscent, she's talking about this, which is reminiscent of the large dormitory style buildings that were used as an orphanage. The 2 lines, she's talking about this, these 2 lines note the year and location of the orphanages. So here's the street name. Isn't that interesting? And the first one is on Wilson Street, the larger permanent location at Ashley Down. George Mueller, who is the founder of the orphanages, his initials are on here, G and M. So again, I bought this chart not knowing any of this information. I just thought it was cool. I just liked the way it looked. So you could easily, if you didn't want to put his initials, you could put yours. But this is actually a very historical piece because it's got a picture of what your typical orphanage would look like, the location. This is more of a tribute to the orphanages. And it also has, so it has his initials, and it also shows 10,024 children that came through the orphanage when George Mueller was alive. I thought that was really fascinating. So one other thing that I thought was cool that I did not notice when I bought this chart until I went to the retreat is that it's hem stitched. Now I didn't know anything about a hem stitch. 1, I didn't know how to do it. And 2, I didn't know what it was. So hem stitched, take a look at this. The hem stitch runs all along here. You can see the line. If I can hold it still, you could see the hem stitch here. You could also see the hem stitch just along the outside. So what does this mean? Why was this important to me? Let's see if I can, there you go. Anyway, hem stitch is what we learned in class. And I believe they said that the hem stitch was pretty typical back in those days to hem stitch your sampler. Now they taught the hem stitch during the class. I chose to actually stitch because I fell a little bit behind on the instruction and I wanted to read about it and kind of practice when I was at home. So it says it is also hem stitched, which was the case for many of the Bristol samplers. So I think it's just really fun that they taught us how to do the hem stitch. I'm trying to get a good close up. that's probably your best picture here once the shadow gets out of the way of the hem stitch, and which was pretty typical of the Bristol samplers. So they taught us that in class. I need to work on it more at home. I did not finish mine during the class, but it was really fun to learn about it. So moving on, huge thanks to Claudia Dutcher Kistler of Dutch Treat Designs. She was our instructor. Go to her website. She also has so much information on her website. She also suggested bristolsamplers.com if you're interested in reading a little bit more. So let's talk about what did I work on at the retreat. When they give you things to work on in class, I tend to like to take it home and do it. I don't know why. So I did a lot of stitching on Mary 395 in the class, outside of the class, because we got to the retreat early and we got to stitch together. So I worked on Mary the whole time. So here she is again. And I am working her on a 40 count dyed by me. I tea and coffee dyed it, fabric, 40 count, and I'm using Belsois silk. So here's my Mary 395. I was able to complete the 3rd row and start the 4th while I was at the retreat. I'm trying to get it in the light so you can see it a little bit better. She is just beautiful. I'm going to show it up close because the letters are so, there is a ton of stitching. Take the B, for example. It's incredible how many stitches are actually in that B. It's a lot of work. And you can just see how much work went into each letter. Such a lot. It's just a lot of stitching. When you look at the chart, you think, oh, I could get these letters done pretty quick. Oh, not really. They are a lot of stitching. So this is my progress on Mary 395. It's been fun. I love it. And I just couldn't put it down. It was just such a blast to work on, especially at the retreat. And again, I'm using Belsois silk cranberry. I don't know if I have, let's show you what Belsois looks like. I have some here. Very, traveling with these threads got a little bit, but here's the color. Really pretty cranberry. Looks a little orange, but it's really red. It's really just a cranberry color. That's a little bit more true, I think. So that's a fun one. Very fun. So let's talk about some more some more Bristol samplers. I keep saying British. So we've got the berry charts, Erica Michaels. Here's number 1, Bristol Berry 1. We have Bristol Berry 2. That's just so pretty. And I have Bristol Berry 3. These are all by Erica Michaels Designs. Okay, see, take a look. These are the popular motifs. And there's the Bible, the animals, the crown, the star. Very typical, and a cross. Very typical in a Bristol sampler. These are still available. They're out there at your local needlework shops. Louisa Cullimore, I showed her. She's available from Hands Across the Sea as a booklet and maybe a PDF. You'd have to check. So I'm going to show it up close so you can really see the motifs that were stitched. Again, all very similar, but different. Here's one, Hope and Love by Clara and Maud Pinkernell, 1881, a British, here I go again with British, a Bristol orphanage sampler by Hands Across the Sea. Now check this one out. Different layout where the motifs are in the middle and the designs here, more motifs at the bottom, just a different look. Here's the name again. This was available, I believe, as a PDF because it looks like I printed it out. Hands Across the Sea. The next one I have is by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is called the Bristol Monkey Sampler. And it says a Bristol orphanage style design. This was also a PDF. And there's the monkey. There's the Bible. There's the cross. So very typical. There's the star. the crown, very similar. And your alphabet, definitely the alphabet. And Jacob put his name in the middle with his date, which you could definitely customize on your own. The other one I just recently got. So something else I wanted to talk to you guys about that we learned a lot about was that a lot of the samplers were stitched on perforated paper. Now, if you don't know a lot about perforated paper, let me show you an example. I have lots of different colors of perforated paper. And we learned that some of these samplers were stitched using perforated paper, which I was fascinated by. I've always loved perforated paper. I don't know why. I like the feel of it, I think. But I believe this, yeah, it's 12 by 9. So let me show you your typical, here we go, perforated paper. Typical size. When you take it out, it looks like this. It's just a sheet. Very, very thin. I'll hold it up close. It's got big holes. I think it's 14 and 18 count it comes in. Comes in different colors. Here's silver. Brown is popular. Brown. Hard to see. Brown. And I also have red. So I don't know what it is about perforated paper that I like so much. Again, I didn't take any pictures of the actual samplers on perforated paper because that is Claudia's and Vicki. Vicki Jennett is another one from Needlework Press that talked to us about perforated paper. So they would actually stitch the samplers on perforated paper. There was a lady in the class that I was so fortunate to meet. Her name is Judy. And it was such a pleasure. If you're watching, Judy, it was such a pleasure to meet you. I hope to meet you again. And I've decided, Judy, to stitch a sampler on perforated paper. But my problem has been, and I actually wrote to Claudia, our instructor from, I told you, from DutchTreat.com. I asked her what, I couldn't remember, Judy, what she was working on. It was beautiful. She had the sampler on the perforated paper. So I was wondering what sampler she was actually working on. Let me see if I can show you the perforated paper a little bit more up close. It's just got a weird feel to it, kind of, I don't know. I love the feel of it. It's just a good feel. So I decided to do one myself. So I wrote to Claudia and I asked her, do you remember what Judy in the class, which sampler she was working on? So Claudia told me it was Bristol Red. So here's Claudia, available on her website, DutchTreat.com, and this is the one that I came home and printed out. So you can see it's much smaller, and I'm going to do it on perforated paper. I haven't started it yet, but I'm excited to. So you can see again, there's the Bible, there's the crowns, there's a key, typical motifs. You've got your alphabet. It's just a smaller version. This is called Bristol Red. So this is what I think I'm going to try and put on this. Claudia said I should work from the middle and go out. So that way, if it does run along the edge, it doesn't matter because I'm going to frame it the way it is anyway. So it's not like I really need a 2-inch border like I usually do on linen because it's going to probably run out to the edge and it's paper. So I don't know. I just don't want to run out of room. I have an alternative. So if I don't stitch this one, I'll show you what we were given in class as a gift from Kathleen, Cross Stitch Antiques. That one I might do on perforated paper. We'll see. So while I was at the attic, what did I kit up? What did I buy? Of course you guys want to know. So not sampler related, I did kit up. I got most of the threads for Christmas Tiny Town. This is adorable. This is what it looks like sideways. And you can also do it as a little drum or frame it or make it into a stand-up just like this. So I did get some of the threads. There was about 3 or 4 that I was not able to get. So I'll order those, but I did kit up Christmas Tiny Town. This is by Heart in Hand. The other thing I kitted up that is sampler related is Jane Bannister 1855. This is gorgeous. I already have the fabric picked out. This is going to be a stitch along with Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. I talked to her just before I left. We both talked about starting this. She is also starting it with 2 other people, and this is going to be beautiful. My fabric's dark, so we'll see what this looks like. These tigers, I have a feeling, are really going to pop out on this fabric along with the white. So that's what I kitted up as well. So fun. So let's talk about some other things that we got in the class. Here's the first project we got. We had to make a name tag. So I chose to make my name tag when I got home because I knew I couldn't finish it in the class. We were moving pretty fast. Not fast, because they did give us time to stitch on it. I just knew I wasn't going to finish it till I got home. So my name tag on perforated paper. They gave us the holder. They gave us the what is this called? Cord. The holder. They gave this to us. So now next year, if I go to the Bristol retreat, I'll take this out so you can get a better look at it. And they gave us the perforated paper to make a name tag. And here's mine. Very, very cute. I thought they also gave us 2 different threads. One of them was 115, the variegated red DMC thread. Look at how pretty the variegation is. I really like that. So now, and again, this is perforated paper. I found my center, the back you can't even see. I used a pencil. What I do when I have a piece of perforated paper, whether it be a Mill Hill kit or something else, whenever I'm stitching on perforated paper, in order to find the middle, I like to take a piece of paper, and it needs to be a little bit longer. Take a piece of paper, put it corner to corner like this, and draw a line, just like that. Then take your piece of paper, do corner to corner, and draw another pencil line. So then you can see my pencil line right here. The center was right here, and you can see my pencil line. Corner to corner will give you your center spot. And so that's where I started stitching. You can't see the pencil marks. And they also gave us a piece of construction paper to put behind it, so it really pops out the design. Looks really pretty. So that was my finish for my retreat. A lot of fun. They gave us everything to go. Like I said, they gave us thread, they gave us the name tag holder and the cable, everything to go with it. So now I have it to wear for next year. Super, super excited. What other projects did they give us? And this is what it looked like. This is what the example looked like. There were 2 styles. I chose 18 count perforated paper. The other style was 14 count, which this was the 18 count one. I don't have a picture of the 14. This was sort of what it looked like, just a quick outline of it. It must be someplace else, but they gave us plenty of paper in case we mess up, or gave us lots of pieces, lots of thread. The next project they gave us was a needle book. Now they had us cut this out with pieces of paper. The needle book is made with perforated paper. It's beautiful. They showed us the example in the class, but they also gave us paper to cut out first. So we got the idea of how to fold it, how to stitch it on a piece of paper first so we don't go and screw it up. I don't have the paper. I'll pull out the paper in a minute, but this is what the needle book looked like. This is perforated paper. Now it's gorgeous. In person, this is shiny, shiny gold. Actually, here's a better picture on the back. Look at how beautiful. So what you do is you take the pieces of perforated paper, you put them together using an adhesive. I think it was tape. And you make yourself the most beautiful needle book, and you stitch on it. You stitch the top, the middle, and the bottom. Fold it in thirds, and you've got yourself a needle book with a really pretty ribbon to go with it. This is by Needlework Press, and Vicki and Megan, her daughter-in-law, were the ones that put on the presentation of how to do this. It was so much fun, and I just thought that this is how it would look if I finish it. Just gorgeous. They gave us all the supplies. They gave us the perforated paper. They gave us the tape, the gold tape. They gave us the ribbon. They also gave us the threads to stitch it with. Awesome. Awesome idea. Very beautiful. So Vicki and Megan were just awesome. Here's the other things they gave us. Here's the tape. You can see the gold. See the gold shiny. The ribbon and the fabric. There was also fabric involved. They gave us a needle. They even gave us a little brush. And it was just fun. Just a beautiful project to work on. And the hem stitch, that was another thing that they gave us, fully kitted hem stitch to learn in class how to do it. Now I did learn how to do it. I just didn't participate because I was stitching on Mary 395 and I kind of fell behind on doing, learning it, I guess. I'm kind of a one-on-one person. Like I like someone to actually show me like privately, I guess, because I retain it better. Anyway, I plan on doing it though. I'm going to read what they gave us. I watched my friend Nanette, who was sitting next to me, do it, and I understand it a lot more. Nanette actually finished it at home. It came out beautiful. So here's the other idea I have for the perforated paper. If I do a sampler, which I plan to do because I want to do a sampler on the perforated paper because they talked so much about it in class. I want to do one myself so that I remember my retreat. Other than my name tag, I want something else. So again, perforated paper, this is the size, and I have to be able to fit it on this size. Here's my second choice. Kathleen from Cross Stitch Antiques was there as well, and she gave us this beautiful sampler. Now you see it's obviously in blue. I haven't decided if I would do it in blue or red. I think the blue is very pretty, but again, there's the crown and there's the motifs, so similar in the Bristol samplers. But look how small it is. So that would fit perfect on my perforated paper. That's a possibility. And then I would cut my excess around, cut the excess off and have myself a little sampler on perforated paper. So I just thought this was such a wonderful gift that she gave us. And it was this sampler here we have the chart for. Really, really beautiful. She's got a great website with some absolutely gorgeous. You can see other samplers that she has. Here's one. There's a Bristol. That's available on her website, crossstitchantiques.com. So you can see another example of a Bristol. That's the name. So many choices. It's just so fun. Here's some more choices that I could do on perforated paper or fabric. You might not like perforated paper. So here's another one, Sampler Patterns by Dutch Treat Designs. This was a gift from Claudia. So she gave us, let's see. Okay, this is an example. This is not the charts. This is just showing the different samplers that were made in 1850 through 1870, so the late 1800s. It is a fantastic book, full of information. Just look at this. It's just so many examples. And you can tell how old that is. Look at how old these are. Awesome. I think it's fascinating. So here's what we cut out in class as a practice template for the needle book. She wanted us to do it as a practice first. So when we cut the perforated paper, we know what we're doing. So that was the example they gave us. Here's another example. Lots and lots of instructions on how to put this together. Lots of instructions. So the book is beautiful. The antique needle book is really pretty. Here's another thing we got from Dutch Treat Designs, 18 count white perforated paper. We can make these little designs as well. Lacework needle book. So we could put together a needle book. The whole kit came with a needle even, perforated paper, and thread. Very fun. Here's another one from Vicki and Megan, Needlework Press, Fanny Johnson. Now, I'm not going to show the chart because the chart is down below. Something very small that we could do either on fabric or perforated paper. And here's what else we got. This was beautiful. We saw the model, the actual, I shouldn't say the model, the actual sampler. Needlework Press, Vicki and Megan. And they brought this in. It is amazing. Phoebe J. Mead. You ought to see this in person. Oh, it's so old. So old, and it was so beautiful. What else did we get? Bristol bands. Now this is the chart from Claudia, Dutch Treat Designs. That's another possibility that I could do. Now here's what it looks like with the alternate colors. And here's what it looks like in red. Awesome. So we got this chart. Here's more information on Lacework Needlebook that she gave us. We also got a chart from Claudia again, tons of information and the whole chart. This is Miss Payne. Look at that one, different. Look at how there's not as many like animals, there's no Bible, it's just a totally different chart, but it still has the same unique look. So this is Miss Payne. A sampler worked in the Mueller New Orphan Home of Bristol, England. There we go. I don't know if this is available. Let's see. It just says to see a variety of many types of samplers, visit bristolsampler.com. She has samplers available, dutchtreat.com. So I don't know if this is just for us at the retreat or if it's available. Here's another one that she gave us, the Master Weaver, Words of Encouragement. Isn't that nice? Really pretty. And so that's a chart we got. Retreat schedule. So what did I buy when I was there? That's probably, oh, here's some more perforated paper. This is the color I really like to do the sampler on. I think red would be so pretty on that brown. I think it'd be really pretty. So what did I buy when I was there? When I was at the attic, what did I buy? What did they give us? They gave us all kinds of goodies. And the fun thing about retreats is that you get goodies from other people too. So I ended up getting 2 colors of white to stitch 56 count. This is Soie Surfine. It's very, very thin. Soie Surfine. It's a silk. I got white. I got some 20 count Aida. I am really loving 20 count Aida right now. I got a really pretty 46 count Tabby Cat Wood Smoke. And this is what it looks like. Tabby Cat is pretty, pretty fabric. That's the type of, that's the name of it. I got this specifically for the Hands Across the Sea chart called Memories of the Past. I'll show you a picture here. And I also got, oh, I got some threads from my friend Nanette Gloriana. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. That would be pretty on black. And look at this guy. Oh, he's cute. The little raccoon is so cute. That was available at the attic. It was the primitive hare. You guys know I love raccoons. Lots and lots of fabric. Seraphim Caramel. That's the color down here. Caramel. I got some 32 count Blue Whisper. I picked up Winter Berries by Erica Michaels. Isn't that pretty? Winter Berries. I picked up some, this cannot possibly be 16 count Aida. I know I didn't buy that. But what is this? Oh, this is Be Stitch Me, Not Another Sampler, 40 count. That's the name of the color, Not Another Sampler. I also got 40 count Needle and Flax Hemingway. This is the darker one. So this is Hemingway. This is Be Stitch Me, Not Another Sampler. The Hemingway is from Needle and Flax. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful color. I got some more colors. A really pretty blue. Let's see what this blue is. Delaware Crossing, Needle and Flax. Pretty blue. And the other one I got is by, it's 56 count, called Eastwick by Needle and Flax. So here they look, here's what they look like outside. 56 count Needle and Flax. The color is Eastwick. This is Needle and Flax is the type, Delaware Crossing. So you can get an idea. It's so hard to see fabrics online. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what this looks like, so you can order if you want to go online and order some from someplace, from the attic or for wherever. This one is Needle and Flax Dirty Teacup. Dirty Teacup is really pretty. Hopefully that gives you an idea. I like to put it against white so you get an idea. There, that's better. Dirty Teacup. Like I said, showing them on a YouTube video sometimes gives you a better idea of what they look like. I also bought one chart, Lions and Tigers, Carolina House Designs. I think that's beautiful. I would love to do a variegated color for this chart. You know, I love animal charts. Here's what it looks like. This chart is also included. I like this one. I like how it's upside down and side to side. That's a lot of fun. So you have your choice of which way you want to do it. Last bit of fabric that I got was Seraphim 40 count Old Stationery. That's a pretty true color right here. Beautiful brown. Pretty. Lots and lots of threads. I got some needles. I got something I can't show because it's my friend's birthday present. Peacemaker needles, that's what I like. Also, I got other things that were given out at just pictures of the samplers. Beautiful. I got a beautiful bag my friend Nanette made me. How pretty is this bag? Gorgeous fabrics. She's doing such a great job quilting and getting into making project bags, and she's really, her sewing has just turned out to be incredible. Here's something else we made in class. It was so fun and just so basic. They gave us these boxes. I'm going to not show you the top yet. So these plain boxes, just like this. They gave us paper to cut out and glue sticks. And look what this turned into. Let's see which way is what. Okay, here we go. How pretty is this with just glue sticking a piece of paper and jazzing up your box. And look at the inside. All you do is just jazz up your boxes. Now I can put some spools in here of some maybe soie surfing. I've got a container that's just beautiful for some of my stitching equipment. I think it's so neat. What a great idea. So we did this in class, something so basic and so pretty, and it was fun to do. Very, very fun. Okay, next we got from the attic a thread keeper. So have you seen these before? Sometimes these come with project bags. They've got snaps. So as you're working and you're stitching, you place this down and you can either put needle and thread on here, or you can put your, the clip off, the things you clip off. They stick to this batting, and it's just a handy little thing to have next to you. Jean from the attic gave us a little pin cushion. How adorable is this pin cushion? Seriously, love this pin, and it's wood. It says Brooklyn Haberdashery. I think that's an Etsy shop. I'm not sure, but we got these from the attic. One of the ladies that attended the retreat was passing out little strawberries to people, and I was lucky enough to get one. Stitchy Kindness from Carrie. Bristol Reprise 2022. Look at this strawberry. Is that adorable? Now this is fabric. This is just fabric. You know how much I love. I have a fabric strawberry right there sitting in the tree. It has a bird on it. A couple videos back I showed it, and I made it myself out of fabric because I'm interested in making these berries, but I was a little afraid to do it with a cross stitch piece. So I took a piece of fabric, have a pretty bird on the top, just like she did. How fun is this to pass out at retreats as gifts for people and put your name and put that it was from the Bristol retreat? I love this, Carrie. Thank you so much if you happen to be watching this video. And there's the top and the wool felt at the top. Gorgeous. I love this so much. So that's part of the fun. If you go to a retreat and you want to bring something, I usually bring floss tags. You know, you can use the puncher and do the floss tags. I have a video on that on how to make floss tags. You can make it kinds of little goodies. I have some floss tags here that I had made up. I made one out of a greeting card. There's a floss tag here. It's just blank on the back so you can write your color. And then I made these. Now I actually haven't punched this yet. Let's see if I have any that are punched. I don't see any. Once I punch this, it'll have a hole here and a hole here. But this was mine. I crocheted that blanket. I put some yarn. I had it made, I think, through Shutterfly or Vistaprint. This is a great idea. Order 50 of them for the retreat, or 100, however many. Pass them out, put your name on the back, and it's a little treat that you could bring to a retreat and take and pass out to people at your table or whoever you want to pass them out to. Here's what we also received from Jean at the Attic. How awesome is this? It says, "The Attic Needlework, where samplers rule." I love this. The color is lipstick red. That is awesome. And it's for your drink. So you pop it open and you've got your drink. I love this so much. And I love what it says. So that's another thing that we received. We also received a spool holder. How adorable is this? It says the Attic Needlework on it. This is a magnet. You can put your needle on it. And we got a spool of thread to go with it. Is this just not genius? I love this. They also passed out little crowns so we could put it on our name tag. And adorable. Where samplers rule, Attic Needlework. Now let's see if it says, oh, this is from Heartstring Samplery. It says the boardroom. I don't know if these are on Beth Twist's website, the Heartstring Samplery, but these are fantastic. I just love this because my spools always run across the couch and go into the crack of my couch. Always. So fun. Okay, last but not least, we also received some bling. This is all the instructions for hem stitching. They gave us the fabric, they gave us thread and a needle so that we can work on hem stitching, and they clearly explain how to do it. Okay, last bits of goodies. We got Samplings of Memories, LaDonna Snellbaker. Find me on Etsy, Facebook, Flosstube, and it says samplingsofmemories.com. And we got some bling. So I love crows. Look at that. Isn't that bling beautiful? You could put these on your scissors so you could find your scissors easily. There's a little key. That's adorable. So Samplings of Memories on Etsy or samplingsofmemories.com. So pretty. She was handing those out. We also got from Lori Wilson, threadmilkdesign.com. She handed out a little container, or a little envelope. These are floss tags, thread, handmade thread milk. Let's see, it's threadmilkdesign.com. Lori Wilson is the owner. How adorable is this though? This is so fun. These gifts are just what make a retreat. They really do. Okay, a couple of last bits of haul that we got that were being passed out. Minnie McBean's Needlework Fripperies, Etsy, Instagram, Facebook. And this is her name. I don't know if you'll be able to read it. I'm going to put the information down below. MINNIE, McBean's Needlework. Look at what she made for us for the Bristol sampler. Red, or for the retreat, Bristol retreat. This is just beautiful, and it's red for the samplers. Gorgeous. And look at the card. Oh, this is so beautiful. Check out her Etsy shop. She's also on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, two last things that we got from Kathleen from Cross Stitch Antiques. We got this chart. Now I have one similar, but they're all different. They are smalls. You can make little teeny tiny smalls with these different motifs. They're so fun. You can make little ornaments. You could just make all kinds of things. And every single chart is in there for both of these. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if this is available. You could talk to Kathleen and ask her. She's crossstitchantiques.com. I know she's on Instagram and maybe Facebook as well. So we got this chart. And last but not least, to hold everything from the attic, they also gave us some note cards. Beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous note cards. And last but not least, we got a bag. Fantastic bag to hold cross stitch supplies. Just awesome. So like I say, if you get a chance to go, it's just so much fun to meet other stitchers, stitch with people, and you come home with new friends. It's such an experience. So like I said, don't ever be afraid to go by yourself. It's just a fantastic experience. So this was my experience at the retreat. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned. My next video will be a regular YouTube Flosstube video with lots of good cross stitch information. It'll be coming out probably in the next couple of days. Thanks everybody. I'll see you next time.